So before we do anything this hour, we want to check in with Chris. How you doing,
Chris? How you
I'm
feeling?
doing well. I'm doing well. The beast comes at night. You know, as we know, the healthcare workers have taken to calling the virus the beast. I understand why. My fever has gone up a couple of degrees in like the last 30 minutes. Nights are tough. And I've learned something that I didn't know before. It is responsible journalism to say that 80% of people who get this statistically wind up okay, meaning they don't go to the hospital, they get through it. It is not humanly responsible, though, from an ethical perspective. Now that I'm one of the anointed and these people reach out to me, you suffer when you have this at home, unless you are ridiculously lucky statistically and maybe karmically as well. I can't tell you how many stories I've had of people who have had over 100, 102 fever for 8, 10, 12 days. And just to tell you what kind of toll that can take, look, it's not about life or death. I don't mean it that way. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing the show. I'm not looking to scare people. I'm trying to do the opposite. I've lost 13 pounds in 3 days. Wow. Now, I'm a big guy. I started off at 230 pounds. My wife is feeding me like, you know, we were still in the dating phase. You know, so it's not like I'm hurt for nutrition. I'm eating and drinking constantly. I'm just sweating it out, and it's the sickness. So, yeah, 80%, we're going to make it through. But the idea that it's easy, so you can be nonchalant, that is so misleading, fellas. That I now know for fact.
Are you saying she fed you better in the dating phase?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, that's a whole other story.
That's a whole other situation, Anderson. I can't.
Yeah.
That'll take us a long time.
Hey, Chris, I just need to say for the record, I think Anderson agreed with me. We had suggested you not work right now. I mean, I know you're incapable of not working and talking about this, but just for the record, we did suggest that. I do have a question though for you, because you know you're a journalist and now you're dealing with this for real time. And you're probably always trying to figure out how to take care of yourself and digging like a journalist does. What are you learning? I mean, you're really in it now. Have you learned anything that works for you?
Here's what I know: that the chicken soup is not just anecdotal. You look online, even if you go to JAMA, you know, the Journal of American, you know, go to the Medical Association Journal. That has worked for me, I believe. I believe that it has helped me lower my fever in periods. I have been counseled to try to endure fever as much as I can because the fever is the body's fighting mechanism. Now, what I've also learned is there is so much BS on the internet that people are trying to peddle as cures, fake pills, fake tonics, these mixtures of things that are actually decent ingredients. Vitamin C, vitamin D are great supplements to have, but 10,000, 20,000 units they want you to take of this. You're not going to overdose, but you know, it can be really hard on your system. People are selling a lot of lies and people are buying them up because of the desperation, and I get it, but they don't work. There's no proof in any of them, and I think we have to be very careful about people preying on desperation.
So what do you anticipate tonight? I mean, you talked earlier with the governor, with your brother, and we revealed that he came to you in a ballet costume with a wand during the bad night you had last night. What does a night look like for you? You said your fever is spiked. What do you think your fever is about right now?
Well, I could probably tell you if you want, but it's probably around 101-ish. Now, I run a little cool. My normal temperature is 97.6, not 98.6. So even when I'm at 99, that would not be a big deal for most people. But for me, I'm already warm. So what happens is at night, you know, your body temperature goes up in the late afternoon anyway. This is anybody with a kid, you know, knows that dance. But I will get pain in my face now, headaches, profuse sweating. Literally, my vision in my left eye is a little blurry from pressure, from sinus pressure, and some manifestation of the virus. I've talked to several clinicians and experts in this. They've all said it's a very common thing. And then you can't sleep because you have a fever. And you have these wicked phantasmagorical experiences that are not dreams. When I say I saw my father sitting on the edge of the bed, I would have gladly raised my hand as an affiant and testified to it under oath easily. Why? Because the fever, because your body's all screwed up. So what I'm saying is, yeah, I'm going to make fun of some of this stuff, but it isn't funny when you're living it for people. And I do not mean to dismiss their pain. I'm just trying to help people not be too spooked, because everybody's so spooked about getting this that if I get it, what will happen? You'll survive. But at the same time, if you think you're going to take the social distancing lightly, or you're going to be nonchalant with any of the beautiful things that Sanjay laid out in that video, I am asking them to send me a copy of your video, Sanjay, because Christina has been going through those protocols in the house. You know, she's taking care of all of us right now, and it's so important to do everything the right way. Otherwise, you wind up exposing yourself. But I'm just telling you, Anderson, you'd make it. But it's so hard that to say it's nothing, don't worry about it, is totally disingenuous, because you are going to experience things you likely never have.
I'm glad you said, because part of me has thought, you know, I'd rather just get this now and get it over with. And I mentioned that to my doctor the other day, and my doctor was like, "That's idiotic. You don't want to get this at all, obviously."
Look, I wish I would have gotten it sooner, but you know, so I could have told this stuff to people a month and a half ago, and we could have broken this bubble of everything's going to be okay. You know, and obviously, I'd always rather have it than any of the people in my family. And thank God they're still they're still asymptomatic. But you don't want it, brother.